Welcome back to another episode. It has been a while. I took some time off last year to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with this channel because after so many weeks in a row of Thomas Frank ball and literally talking about the same thing again and again and again, I got so burnt out of not being able to give actual analysis or thought or anything past the point of like, we're dog shit right now. I don't know what else is going to change. And so I took some time off and I didn't anticipate it to be like half a season. I only anticipated it to be for like a week or two, a couple weeks, maybe a month. And then things just kept starting to go downhill. And I was just like, I don't want to go back and talk about this yet. And also, I kind of needed to figure out the format of what I wanted to do with this channel because I haven't, I have career, life, wife, all that kind of stuff. But I also have another YouTube channel that at that point I started putting more time into. If you haven't seen it before, I'm a filmmaker, photographer. And so I have a channel about that, and that started doing a little bit better. And so I just started to devote more time to that. But all that to say, here's what I'm going to do for this season. I can commit to at least this. Probably only 1 or 2 videos a week, and I don't know what they're going to be. They might be a combination of more tactical analysis. It might be just talking shit about the game. I don't know what it's going to be. But I really did miss talking about the sport and talking about Tottenham specifically. Oh, and that's the other thing is I might talk about more just general Premier League and not as much Tottenham. So if that doesn't interest you, thanks for subscribing for as long as you did. But if it does, thanks for sticking around. So what I wanted to get into today, now that that kind of disclaimer and housekeeping's over, obviously you can see from the title, I think I might be in the minority on this whole Cristian Romero situation. I am of the opinion, and I feel pretty strongly about this after thinking about it for weeks, about what I wanted to happen with. I mean, we've all known for at least a few months that he was going to be going, and that it would happen during the off season, this off season, and so when these rumors started to pop up about him potentially being interested in Arsenal, at the very start, I was like, okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. Obviously, no chance that he's interested in going to Arsenal. And then, as more and more reporting comes out, it looks like there's the potential that he might go to Arsenal or that he might even be interested in going to Arsenal. And initially my thought was, well, and in addition to that Tottenham was blocking the deal, that they were just not interested in doing the deal at all. And so my thought at that point was, well, if Romero's not interested in going to Arsenal and Tottenham's blocking the deal, then like good on Kuti, whatever. But we've had some more reporting come out this morning that he is interested in going to Arsenal, that he would be interested in making that move. And for me, this is where I think I'm in the minority. I don't care. I don't care if he's interested in going to Arsenal. I am of the opinion that if Arsenal is going to give Tottenham the most amount of money, and we'll get into all the numbers and stuff here in a second, but let me lay this out. If Arsenal is the one that's going to give Tottenham the most amount of money and Romero wants to go, then let him go. Like, fuck him, dude. Like, I'm not interested in keeping somebody who, A, doesn't really want to be at the club, and B, is interested in going to our biggest rival. If that's what he wants to do, go ahead. And for me, this differs slightly from the Sol Campbell situation, because Sol Campbell was telling Tottenham that he wanted to stay. He ran down his contract, obviously, and then decided to join Arsenal like a week later after saying that he was going to renew. So that situation is very similar, obviously. Club captain, center back, going to our biggest rival. But it's different in the fact that, like, if this is going to give Tottenham potentially twice the amount of money, or at least seems on the reporting like a good chunk on top of that, maybe 20 mil or so, on top of what we'd get from Inter, Atleti, any of those clubs, then just do it. Like, get rid of him, send him to Arsenal. Whatever happens with Arsenal is what happens with Arsenal. Who freaking cares? Think about if your biggest hang-up is like, oh, well, then he's kind of ruined his reputation with Tottenham. That's on him. That's not on us as fans. if the club don't want to do the deal, but Arsenal triggers a release clause and he signs off on it, then that's not on the club either. Like it's silly to think about and put so much thought and emotion into a player that wants to leave when we have so many other icons and legends and stuff like that we can think of fondly. Like if he wants to go, whatever. And so let's go into the actual details of kind of what's going on with this reporting. So as of this morning, I actually didn't want to start on this screen, but let's start on this one. So this was as of a couple hours ago. Just a couple hours ago, it looked like Paul O'Keefe, obviously, one of the top ITKs. Spurs have no choice, no release clause, you donut. You think he goes there, Paul? Absolutely no chance Spurs deal with him, so no. And that's kind of been the reporting for the past couple of days. But, and then yes, also Paul O'Keefe reported that Cristian Romero's camp is the one that potentially initiated these talks with Arsenal, which again goes into all the thoughts that I just outlined. And then Billy T, only an hour ago, new fear unlocked Romero release clause. So apparently, this has not been highly vetted, but apparently this morning in an interview, Cristian Romero's dad says he has 2 more years on his contract with Tottenham and a very high release clause. The English club isn't going to let him go for free. It's between 50 to 70 million. For me, they'll want to recover what they invested. And that's obviously not any kind of confirmation that he actually has a release clause. But it is the first talk that we've heard that there potentially is a release clause. That's contrary to what Paul O'Keefe has been hearing, which Paul O'Keefe knows maybe more than any other Spurs ITK. So it's interesting that little nugget has potentially been found out this morning because, again, it goes back to what I was saying. If Spurs are blocking the deal, as Paul O'Keefe said, Spurs won't do it. But there's a release clause that they put in very high, and maybe it's at that 50 to 70 million range. And that was, what was that? That was dollars. So yeah, 37 to 53 million pounds. If that's going to be in the range of 10 to 20 more than what we would get from Atleti to enter, and that's the move that Romero wants to make, then let him make the move and just move on. Like, there are so many things to be positive about this De Zerbi cycle and how this season's shaping up after, only the 7 games in the league that he coached last season. Romero wasn't going to be part of the project anyways, it seems like. Brought in Van Hecke, brought in Senesi. It looks like Van de Ven's on the verge of signing a new contract. So it's like he was not going to be part of this project. So I say let him go. And I know that puts me in the minority, and especially the way that I framed it as if he wants to go, then let him go. Who cares? Get rid of him. I know a lot of fans are saying, how could we ever make a deal with Arsenal and all that kind of stuff? In my opinion, this is something that I just think broadly about the sport, is if a player wants to go, then let them go. No, there is no use in using emotional energy and getting hung up on why they want to go, not letting them go. Oh, if they go and they perform well, like all of that stuff is just nonsense. I think we should be focusing on how great this window has been so far with the players that we brought in, and still have the potential to bring in some other players, like potentially a Gakpo, potentially the Villarreal striker who I just forgot his name, Mitsotakis or something, and still more to be done. And the positivity that there's going to be with this season going into the season with De Zerbi and all that comes with that. So that's kind of my rant. That's all I have to say on this for today. I'll be back with another video soon on the whole transfer window and talking about kind of how those moves will impact the team and what I like about them. But for now, I just wanted to kind of get my opinion out there and get that off my chest, because I've been seeing so many people saying that, like, just completely having a different opinion than I have. And so I just want to voice my opinion as well. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you again next one. Bye.